0, 1,
Hello, it's Prudence going live.
3.
Let's get started.
This time I'm going to talk about my role model inspiration into doing what I do. I went to a leadership conference here recently and they asked me who my role model in life might be and why I was at a leadership conference, and I told them that it was actually one of my daughters. One of my daughters actually picked herself up and moved away from my home to a whole different state with virtually, she went with a friend and she had a couple of family there, but she virtually had nobody. She took her service animal with her, which was rather nice, and she lived there a little bit. Then COVID hit, and she could easily have just come back home. Anyhow, bear with me while I you know what, I'm gonna crush this eventually. You know what, I saw some vids of myself earlier. I was, my daughter, in fact, who's my role model, told me that somebody in my family watches mine, and I was pretty shocked. That person consistently was watching my videos, so I have faith that some of these actually have value. Anyhow, moving on, my daughter is my role model because she took that leap. You know, I said the other day, you know, like being in IT in a gig for him is like a customer jumping in the water and the sharks. It's just jump on the customer. Well, she jumped in the water of her goals and ideals, and she's actually doing really well. She's one of the people that helps me. We reach out to each other, we inspire each other, and so it's nice to have her. I'm in an organization where there are mentor-mentee programs where you can bring up in leadership or in different avenues of life somebody else who's wishing to attain what you have. And this whole entrepreneurial thing is definitely, it's not just an individual achievement, it's also a mentor-mentee achievement, because as you grow, you don't grow as a leader in your achievements. You grow as a leader in who else you help lead. And I learned that in a forum, and I think that this program, and some may find it self-serving, but I think it's actually a mentor program. Very mentoring program for us mentees who want to become future mentors. And we've been calling it coaching, but we're actually wanting to become future mentors. And so that may lessen the monetization of it for some, but my daughter definitely was inspirational in starting this, and I don't want to take credit, but I did homeschool all 7 of my children, and I had them, I don't know why, as a parent, like when I had my first child, when I saw, I had never seen a newborn until I had my first child, and so I had seen other people with babies, and I thought babies was like, you know, this little bouncing ball of joy that's going to be sitting on your knee, and, you know, laughing, and, you know, you're playing patty cake and all this other stuff with. And then I got gave birth, and my baby was put in my hand, and my baby was like a blob. I mean, he could move and everything, but he was basically a blob. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't sit, couldn't speak, couldn't feed itself, nothing. It was like I was so taken aback. so taken aback by this child. I was like literally in a panic state of this is not a baby. You have handed me a piece of Jello, basically. You handed me a piece of Jello. What am I supposed to do with this? And my husband at the time was like, let's have more. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have Jello. I have Jello. It came out of spaces in pain, and I have Jello. We are not having more. I had 7 eventually, but at that day, I was like, we're not having any more Jello. No, there's no more Jello in life. There's no Jello. I want some, even if it's a stick figure, it's a lot better than Jello. Yes, this is a description of I was very naive. I'm still kind of naive. I'm shockingly naive for my age about certain things in life. Anyhow, so that Jello child, I was like, what if I die? Who's going to take care of my Jello if I die? It was my first thought. I don't know why. This is my first thought. My Jello, my first thought was, what if I die? This Jello, who's going to take care of my Jello? And what is, I didn't want to just let the Jello melt on the hot pavement. So, from the get-go, here's a revelation to you all, people. Prudence mindset, decided my children needed survival skills. If I die, how are my children going to survive? If I die, how are you going to make a living? If I die, I don't know, my poor homeschooling. Yeah, I don't know if I said it. My poor homeschooling. My children were all like taught, the basics, and everything else was like learn as you learn. I taught my children. I planted the seed. I'm gonna say that during one of those workshops, somebody said plant a seed, and plant a seed has been the thing, my trigger to motivation. If you say plant a seed, I'm gonna perk up and listen. I'm going to perk up and listen. You're planting a seed, because planting a seed is a philosophy I use to educate my children. All I had to do was plant a seed. And my children have amazed me at what they do. Amazed me at what they can do. Amazed me at what they come back and actually say to me. Hello, whoever's watching. Anyhow, it's like plant a seed. I can't remember who said it. Somebody said plant a seed during one of the workshops, and I was triggered. Like yes, plant a seed, because I've seen what planting a seed can do. Not me. Well, maybe so, but I'm more critical of myself. But I've seen what me planting a seed, other people can do. Has done, and I've seen my children come back to me so much to the point that when I was asked who a role model was at a leadership conference, I picked one of my kids, because she's achieved so much, has such knowledge, such wisdom, and is achieving in her life. And I mean, I have another child that has its own businesses. We talk about business concepts all the time, and it's so enriching. I have another child who's just incredibly explorative, wise, and it's like every time I talk to this it's not this person, this child, it's like the vastness his mind has gone to, it just blows my mind away, and I'm always taken aback going, were these my kids? These are the Jellos that came out of me. These are Jellos that came out of me, and I'm really shocked and amazed. And anyhow, yeah, so role models don't necessarily have to be older. And I'm not You know what? It's kind of funny because it's my own kids. It's like patting myself on the back twice. It's not. I didn't. All I did was plant a seed. I didn't know what they grow. I could have planted a weed. Luckily, it's come out pretty well. Anyhow.
Stop to me.